part of the art making process do you enjoy the most?
I love the process of selling the painting.
Are you serious? You're joking.
No, I do.
Really? Why is that?
I do love that because, I mean, it kind of popped into my head and it's funny, but, when somebody comes forward and they say, I want to live with this, especially if it's a costly one and they, pony up with some real, change.
Right.
That's a significant moment. It's
Another
almost
affirmation.
like, will you marry me? It's like, wow, they're really serious. And you've connected because, Russ, to back it all the way up to what we were talking about in terms of, the armless, legless man,
Right.
really that's the day-to-day sort of reality of that vulnerable place of the artist where it's like, I hope this amounts to something. I hope I'm not just peeing into the wind here.
Right.
Because there's this, I like all of it, but some of it's, getting started is difficult. One of the things I really love about the process is when I've been working on a painting and I'm along towards that process of bringing it to closure, and I start to get to the point where I find myself kind of looking at the painting. I'm not painting, I'm just looking at it, and it's like, Rick, dinner's ready, and I'm like, be there in a minute, and I'm finding myself kind of lost in it. And to me, that's really satisfying because I know I'm getting close to that. The painting doesn't need me anymore. I heard somebody say once that art making is sort of like you're running to catch this, you're gonna hop this train and you're running alongside, you see that open door, and there's that point where you're on.
Right.
And it's carrying you now.
Right. Success. In a way.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, there's some sense of
ending.
Like, we got there.
Right.
We're on.
Right.
And it's carrying me somewhere,
Right. I see in your work some similarities over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a universal theme to your body of work?
I think there is. I have to say that I do have a belief kind of in the world of faith that there's an unseen world that's real. An unseen world that may even be more real than the seen world.
Right.
We do not look to the things that are seen, but to things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are passing away. But the things that are unseen are eternal. They go on forever. And I think when you start talking like that, seen, unseen, that painting or art making in itself becomes really important because art making, to me, becomes sort of this touchstone of where those two come together in a way that becomes palpable in that moment. And it's in a sense it's ephemeral because it depends on the viewer and their sensitivity. But you're making in the Celtic theology they talked about thin places that where beautiful and holy things happen, whether that was healing or taking care of the sick or that became a thin place, and that ability to connect with the divine was much more likely to happen. And I feel like the artist making that painting and daubing on the oil is sort of like making that membrane that separates the two permeable. That fragrances and light starts to pass from one to the other. And so my art making, really, I feel like it has to do with that. It has to do with that, the mystical and the supernatural and the holy, which is a big word, or the sacred.
Right.
It happens when you're ironing a shirt. It happens when you open up a book, or just you're on your bed and you're just waking up, and it's not like you planned it.
Right.
It just sort of surprises you, like,
right.
It's like an epiphanal moment.
When you were talking, I got the picture in my mind of kind of the onion, peeling back a layer and another layer and getting to that very translucent middle, and that middle is where you're kind of connecting with something beyond yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and I think, the world is a hard place of paying mortgages and, can't find a parking place and, ache in your shoulder. And so I think we're really hungry, just as people for that quiet moment, that transcendent,
right.
opportunity when it comes. And I would hope that my art would help, make that more likely.
Beautiful. I enjoyed looking at your work, enjoyed visiting your studio this morning. I'm going to have another look around.
Thanks, Russ. It's good having you here.
Thank you, Rick.